Ever look out the window of a train and wonder, how'd they even build all this?
Yeah.
Well, today we're handing you the high-vis jacket and blueprints to become a rail construction supervisor.
Oh, wow.
Forget just scratching the surface. We're grabbing hard hats and digging deep into RoleCatcher's career guide. Get ready for some serious insights, because this isn't just about laying tracks.
Right.
It's about laying the foundation for a rewarding career.
Yeah, it's a field that often flies under the radar, yet it's so crucial, for keeping our transportation systems running smoothly.
It's not just about knowing your way around a construction site. RoleCatcher breaks down the career path into three distinct stages.
Okay.
Entry-level rail construction worker, and finally, rail construction supervisor.
Wow, okay.
Each step builds upon the last, but here's where it gets interesting. RoleCatcher gives you a glimpse into the real-life journey of someone at each level.
Oh,
It's like having a mentor guiding you through the ranks.
it's that level of detail that makes this guide so valuable. They don't just tell you what a rail construction supervisor does. They show you the skills and experiences you'll need to acquire along the way. For instance, let's talk about that jump from rail construction worker to supervisor. It's a significant leap in responsibility, requiring not only technical expertise, but also strong leadership and communication skills.
You're not just managing projects anymore, you're managing people.
Right.
And speaking of projects, RoleCatcher highlights some pretty amazing specializations within this field.
Oh, cool.
We're talking mechanical, building and construction, engineering, and technology.
Oh.
You can end up a specialist in anything from bridge construction to intricate signaling systems.
Absolutely. This isn't just about laying tracks. It's about ensuring those tracks are safe, efficient, and integrated with these complex systems. It's a highly technical field that demands a keen eye for detail and a deep understanding of engineering principles.
It's like being a conductor, but instead of an orchestra, you're orchestrating massive construction projects.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening who thought this was just about manual labor, think again. This is a career that combines technical prowess, problem solving, and leadership, all while building something tangible that impacts countless lives.
Precisely. And speaking of impact, one of the things that stood out to me in this guide is the emphasis on safety. RoleCatcher dedicates an entire section to safety regulations, inspections, and the importance of creating a safe working environment for everyone on site.
It makes sense. You're dealing with heavy machinery, potentially hazardous materials, and the constant movement of people and equipment. There's no room for error when it comes to safety.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher doesn't just tell you that safety is important. They provide concrete examples of what that looks like in practice. For instance, they highlight the role of rail construction supervisors in conducting daily safety briefings, inspecting equipment, and ensuring that everyone on site is following proper procedures.
It's not just about knowing the rules. It's about enforcing them and creating a culture of safety on every project. That's a huge responsibility. So with all this talk about hard hats and safety regulations, I'm curious, what's the earning potential for someone in this field?
That's the million-dollar question. While the guide doesn't provide specific salary figures, it does emphasize that rail construction supervisors earn a competitive salary.
And let's not forget the job security.
Right.
With the ongoing need for infrastructure projects, it seems like this is a career with some serious staying power.
You're absolutely right. RoleCatcher actually highlights this, mentioning the increasing demand for skilled professionals in the field of rail construction. They even have a section dedicated to job search strategies specifically tailored to this industry.
Now we're talking. It's one thing to have the skills and experience, but it's another thing entirely to know how to navigate the job market and land that dream job.
Yeah.
What kind of insights does RoleCatcher offer in that regard?
Well, one thing that caught my eye was their emphasis on building a strong portfolio.
Okay.
They argue that showcasing your work through before and after photos, detailed project descriptions, and even client testimonials can make all the difference.
It's like a highlight reel of your construction career. Instead of just telling potential employers what you've done, you're showing them.
Exactly. And
Right.
it's a smart strategy, especially in a field like this, where visual evidence of your skills and experience can be so powerful.
It's like the old saying goes, show, don't tell. But
Yeah.
it's 2024, so maybe it's more like click, don't just tell.
Precisely. And speaking of clicking, this is where RoleCatcher's technological prowess really shines. They've incorporated some pretty impressive AI-powered features into their platform, features designed to give job seekers an edge in today's competitive market.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these AI-powered tools. What can they do?
Well, for starters, they have this feature called RoleCatcher.Capture. It's a Browser plugin that lets you save jobs from multiple job boards,
Oh, cool.
like LinkedIn, or indeed directly to your RoleCatcher account.
So instead of having a million tabs open and applications scattered everywhere,
Yeah.
it's all centralized in one place.
Precisely. No more frantically searching through emails and spreadsheets trying to remember where you applied. It streamlines the entire job search process, making it easier to stay organized and on top of your applications.
I like the sound of that. I don't know about you, but my organizational skills could use all the help they can get,
Right.
but it gets even better. RoleCatcher takes this a step further with a feature that analyzes your CV or resume against the job description
Yeah.
and tells you which version is the strongest match.
It's like having a personal brand strategist in your pocket. This is where that AI really starts to flex its muscles. It can analyze language, identify keywords, and assess the overall effectiveness of your resume in relation to the specific requirements of each job you apply for.
So it's not just about having a great resume, it's about having the right resume for the job. That's next level customization.
Precisely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it speaks to the increasing role of AI and automation in the job market. It's no longer enough to just have the skills. You need to be able to present them in a way that algorithms and recruiters can understand.
It's like having a secret weapon in your job search arsenal. But speaking of weapons, let's talk about the interview. I know a lot of people dread that part of the process. What does RoleCatcher have to say about interview prep for rail construction supervisors?
This is where their platform really shines. They have a massive database of over 120,000 practice interview questions categorized by career and skill.
120,000, that's a lot of questions. Are they all relevant to this specific role?
That's the beauty of it. They're not just generic interview questions. These are tailored to specific roles and industries, so you're not wasting time practicing answers that are irrelevant to the job you want.
Okay, that makes sense. I've definitely been in interviews where I felt like the questions were pulled from a hat. But with 120,000 questions to choose from, they must have some real gems specific to rail construction supervisors. What kind of questions should someone expect in this field?
Well, let's dive into that. RoleCatcher doesn't disappoint. They highlight 10 common questions specifically for aspiring rail construction supervisors, covering everything from like your motivation to how you handle safety and even stakeholder management.
Sounds intense. Let's dive in.
All right, question one is a classic opener. What motivated you to pursue a career in rail construction? It's your chance to really showcase your passion for the field, and connect your personal story to the work.
So it's not enough to just say, I like trains.
Exactly. You need to
Yeah.
dig deeper. RoleCatcher suggests talking about what fascinates you about infrastructure, the impact of efficient transportation systems, or even a childhood memory that sparked your interest.
I love that. It's about showing them you're not just there for a paycheck, but because you genuinely care about the work.
Precisely. Now, question two gets a bit more practical. What experience do you have in managing rail construction projects? This is where those three career stages we discussed earlier really come into play.
Even if you haven't held the official title of supervisor yet, you can still speak to your experiences as a rail construction worker.
Absolutely. Highlight those transferable skills, right? Managing timelines, coordinating with teams, ensuring safety protocols are followed. And don't forget about that visual portfolio we talked about. This is the perfect opportunity to showcase those before and after photos of your projects.
Because a picture speaks 1,000 words, or in this case, 1,000 steel beams.
Exactly. Now let's talk safety. Question three asks, how do you ensure that real construction projects are completed safely? This one's crucial in such a high-stakes environment.
It's not just about knowing the regulations, it's about living and breathing them, right?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher advises talking about specific safety measures you've implemented in the past, like conducting daily safety briefings, inspecting equipment, and fostering that culture of safety on site.
It's about demonstrating that proactive, safety-first mindset that's essential in this role. Speaking of essential, let's talk budget. Question 4 asks, what steps do you take to ensure that rail construction projects are completed on time and within budget?
Ah, the classic budget question. This is where you demonstrate your organizational skills, your ability to anticipate challenges, and your talent for making tough decisions.
Have you ever had to adjust a project timeline due to, unforeseen circumstances? How did you handle it? These are the kind of real-world examples that showcase your problem-solving skills.
Exactly. And it ties into question number 5, which focuses on quality. How do you ensure that rail construction projects are completed to a high standard? It's not just about getting the job done, it's about getting it done right.
RoleCatcher suggests highlighting your quality control measures, like regular inspections and setting clear expectations for your team. It's about demonstrating your commitment to excellence in every aspect of the project.
And don't be afraid to share those success stories. Did you implement a process improvement that saved time or money while maintaining quality? Let them know.
Because modesty doesn't build bridges. Okay, question 6 shifts the focus a bit. How do you manage stakeholder expectations on rail construction projects? Now, stakeholder management sounds a bit like a corporate buzzword.
It does, but it's a crucial aspect of this role. Think about it. You're dealing with government agencies, community groups, contractors, and potentially even the public.
Lots of cooks in the kitchen. So how do you keep everyone happy and the project on track?
RoleCatcher stresses the importance of clear, consistent communication, active listening, and the ability to find common ground. You need to understand everyone's priorities and concerns, address them proactively, and find solutions that work for as many stakeholders as possible.
It's about being a diplomat as much as a construction expert.
And sometimes a mind reader. Okay, question number 7 takes us back to the rulebook. How do you ensure that rail construction projects comply with applicable regulations and standards?
So it's not just about knowing the rules, it's about knowing how to apply them in real-world, often complex situations.
Exactly. This is your opportunity to showcase your deep understanding of industry regulations and your ability to navigate those gray areas that inevitably arise on large-scale projects.
It's about showing them you're not just following the letter of the law, but the spirit of it too. Now, question 8 is all about anticipating the unexpected. How do you manage project risks on rail construction projects?
Risk management is crucial in any field, but especially in construction, where there are so many moving parts, literally.
RoleCatcher encourages you to think about potential risks specific to rail construction, like weather delays, equipment malfunctions, or even unforeseen geological conditions,
It's about having a plan B and maybe even a plan C.
and being able to communicate those plans effectively to your team and those stakeholders we talked about earlier.
Because when things go wrong, and they inevitably will, it's your ability to adapt, problem solve, and lead your team through challenges that will set you apart. All right, ready for the penultimate question?
Hit me with it.
Question 9 is a timely one. How do you ensure that rail construction projects are sustainable and environmentally friendly?
Sustainability. It's not just a buzzword anymore. It's a core value that's reshaping entire industries, including construction.
Absolutely. RoleCatcher suggests brushing up on environmentally friendly construction practices, reducing waste, minimizing noise pollution, protecting those local ecosystems.
It's about demonstrating that you're not just building for today, you're building for tomorrow. And speaking of building, let's move on to the final and arguably the most important question on this list.
This one gets to the heart of leadership. How do you lead and manage a team of rail construction professionals?
It's the question that keeps every aspiring leader up at night. What's the secret sauce? How do you inspire and motivate a team, especially in a demanding field like this?
There's no magic formula, but RoleCatcher highlights some key ingredients. Strong communication is key, as is the ability to delegate effectively and create a positive, productive work environment.
It's about setting clear expectations, providing support, and recognizing your team's hard work.
And let's not forget about those essential soft skills: empathy, conflict resolution, and the ability to build trust. You're not just managing projects, you're managing people, each with their own strengths, weaknesses, and aspirations.
It's about finding that balance between being authoritative but also approachable, right? You're the leader, but you're also part of the team, working together toward a common goal.
Precisely. So to answer your question about that secret sauce, it's a blend of technical expertise, leadership skills, and that innate ability to inspire and motivate those around you. And it's clear that RoleCatcher recognizes the importance of these qualities in a rail construction supervisor.
They definitely don't sugarcoat the demands of this career, but they also highlight the incredible rewards, the satisfaction of contributing to essential infrastructure, the opportunity to lead and inspire a team, and the pride that comes with seeing a project through from those initial blueprints to the final gleaming rail line.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the potential for growth. As technology continues to advance, so too will the role of the Rail Construction Supervisor. RoleCatcher hints at a future where automation and robotics play an even bigger role in the field.
So instead of overseeing a team of workers laying tracks, A future supervisor might be overseeing a fleet of robots, ensuring those bots are laying tracks with precision and efficiency.
Precisely. And that's just one possibility. Imagine a future where rail construction supervisors are using virtual reality to plan and oversee projects, or augmented reality to guide their team remotely. The possibilities are truly exciting.
It sounds like a career that's constantly evolving, which means there's always something new to learn and master.
And that's what makes it so exciting. This isn't a field where you can just rest on your laurels. You need to be adaptable, curious, and always willing to embrace new technologies and ways of working.
It's about being a lifelong learner, constantly seeking out new knowledge and challenges.
Precisely. And RoleCatcher seems to embrace that philosophy as well. They don't just leave you hanging with a bunch of information and a good luck out there. They provide links to professional associations, industry publications, and training resources to help you stay ahead of the curve and continue developing your skills throughout your career.
It's like having a career coach in your back pocket, or maybe on your smartphone, is more accurate these days.
Absolutely. They're not just helping you land the job, they're equipping you to build a successful and future-proof career in a field that's quite literally shaping the future of transportation.
And on that note, I think we've reached the final stop on our deep dive into the world of rail construction supervisors.
It's been a fascinating journey. We've explored the day-to-day realities of the job, uncovered the skills and qualities needed to succeed, and even taken a glimpse into the exciting possibilities that lie ahead for this essential and evolving profession.
From those initial steps on the career ladder to mastering the art of stakeholder management and embracing the potential of AI, we've covered a lot of ground.
We've seen that it's not just about hard hats and heavy machinery. It's about leadership, innovation, and a commitment to building a safer, more efficient, and more sustainable future for us all.
And on that inspiring note, we'll leave you to ponder the possibilities. Until next time, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.